Just had to share this.
That almost killed me.
That almost killed you? Oh my goodness. Well, don't let that happen.
We should move it over there.
Yeah. Careful, Banj.
Yeah, she always do that.
Whoa, my goodness. Uh-oh, a little bit too hard. So I have, hello, I've been working on a few paintings. Here's one that I actually did several years ago, and I've reworked it over and over again, just trying to say something a little bit more deep, just give it more depth, more of a storyline, more meaning. The way I painted it originally, this girl's hand was out like this, and yet she wasn't holding anything, and so I decided to have her hold this little cage, and that turned into, well, wouldn't that be neat to have some fireflies in it? And now I'm thinking this girl's hand is the same thing. I might just have her hold something simple, like just a twig of, a twig with leaves on it or something. Or perhaps a little firefly net. I don't know. I'm still considering that. I want their hands to be doing something, you know, because it looks like they should be. And I'm just going back and forth with, you know, I want it to look like almost like a dreamlike representation of this type of thing. Everybody's probably experienced this, but not, you know, not with these people. So I wanted to make it more dreamlike so that it could, so that more people could maybe relate to it. Here's what I'm starting right now. I know I've been showing, you know, all of our videos lately have just been of the inside. Laura Jean's making some more digital stuff. But that's because the weather has been pretty bad outside. So we've been getting warm weather, and then it snowed, and then it melted, and last night we got a horrendous blizzard. And then today it's warm again. I want to bring you outside for just a moment. Wow, it's pretty. Hey, kitty cat. Meow. Some of the old wood from the house. We're gonna make some cabinets from that. Some new wood from the construction of the roof that warped a little bit too much to use it up there. So I'm planning a new chicken or duck coop right behind this old swing set. Over the course of many years, you can get garden soil. Here's our garden. Over the course of many years, you can get garden soil to be more alive and grow plants better if you add organic matter to it. So here we have basically just the stuff that we used to throw the chickens, but now that the chickens have all been killed by neighboring roaming dogs. I'll tell you that story in just a second. Anyway, so because of that, we don't have chickens to feed our scraps to. So we just toss them out here, and we do have kind of a mouse and vole problem. Voles are kind of like groundhogs, and except smaller. And they, I shouldn't say groundhogs, more like ground squirrels, but smaller. I don't know, they're not like squirrels at all. Anyway, if you know what a vole is, you know what I'm talking about. They just are terrible. They wreak havoc on a garden. I guess they're like little mice with long beaver teeth. But so that'll attract the voles, but it's near where we feed the cats, and so we're just feeding the cats more and taking care of the vole problem, hopefully. But that kind of thing adds nutrients, adds bacteria, you know, food for the bacteria to create better garden soil. We tried over in this section last year. We tried to do a straw bale garden, and I just have to say it failed absolutely miserably. It not only was very difficult to keep wet, it was constantly drying out. You know, it took, you know, we were watering it every day, but it, well, we have kind of, well, it's really dry out here in the west, but also the wind tends to dry it out even more. So we decided not to do that again this year. We're instead going to, well, I already did. We spread it out. So I had, I don't know, 10 or so straw bales. They're nice and black. You can see also that I've added a trash bag full of leaves that we collected last year in the fall. So we spread this out, and I know what you're thinking. Yes, this will create plenty of space for the voles to hide, which is a problem because we want to do a no-till type of garden, but I don't think it's going to work just because of that vole problem. Ideally, we would get to do that. So the point is, the more organic matter we can add to a garden spot, the less we have to rely on the native soil being good. Ours is not that great. Certain parts of our property, sorry about the wind, it just came up. Hopefully you can hear me still. So certain parts of our property have great soil. For example, we planted potatoes on the other side of this under construction house a couple years ago, and they did fantastic, or fantastically, however you say that. And then we planted them in several rows out here last year, and they just did kind of terribly. So even on our property, just an acre or two away from each other, these two garden spots were not, you know, they're not equal, and no soil is, no dirt is created equal. So we're trying to create good garden soil just by adding stuff to it. Straw doesn't inherently have a ton of nutrients in it, but just because it's the dead, dried out, leftover plant matter after wheat or other grain is harvested. But because it's breaking down, it will provide a good place for bacteria, good bacteria, and other organisms to grow, which help feed and take care of the plants that grow in it. Also, an important aspect of this, of adding organic matter to any soil, is that it helps retain water and helps kind of regulate the different ups and downs of weather, you know, heat and cold cycles, dry and too wet cycles. It just moderates all of that stuff. And so that's the plan. But let me show you. You can kind of see, I'll try to show you. Well, here's our property line over there. But last year we had our garden go from there to there. And this part is our grove in the front yard, the apple trees. And then, no, I shouldn't say, sorry, 2 years ago. Last year we didn't do much of any gardening. All along here, back to the fire pit and mulch pile. And that barrel's not supposed to be there. There's a rain barrel that blew away. Anyway, to there, all the way over there to the corner, across in front of these trees, and back again to about there. All in all, it was about a third of an acre, if I remember correctly. A third or a quarter. I think it was about a third. That was a very fun garden, but extremely, extremely time-consuming. It didn't give us much time to live life in any other way. And that was the beginning of the end of full-time homesteading for us, because we got absolutely burned out. We didn't have time for my career because of this garden. Didn't have time to live life or even really explore our other interests and talents. And yeah, so that was when we started to get burned out. And then that next spring, which was last year, almost so about 12 months ago, I remember doing a video in almost this exact same weather and telling our audience here on YouTube that we had just about had it with this property. It's embarrassing looking back at that, you know, just because I feel like our attitude was just all wrong. But but also I can kind of see why. You know, we did a lot of things wrong. Here I'm walking through where the potatoes were, and you know, it's depressing because it's nothing but weeds. We hardly got any harvest, and I see vole and ground squirrel paths here. So whatever might have survived the winter is totally gone, I'm sure. I think this year we're gonna focus on a small garden, a small area that we are really gonna nourish. We're definitely not gonna go past this point, except maybe like, you know, naturalizing some things that can grow back year after year, possibly. I don't think we'll even go past this part. Maybe we'll just plant some trees here and you know, establish another little grove and work towards a food forest. But besides a small garden here, just right next to the house, I'm gonna build a little chicken coop here. And I already mentioned I think I might have called it a chicken coop over there, but I just mean like a general animal area, you know, a place to take care of and keep animals in the future. Wow, what a mess. We're gonna, of course, work on the house. The final thing that needs to be done on the house is just the stucco. Well, and you know, obviously a few more spots of this 4-inch insulation that goes on the outside. So yeah, just the stucco on the outside of that, and you know, 3 layers of that, and we can choose the final color after that. I'm gonna do a few more details. I'm gonna put a cover on the porch. I might actually turn this into a door with a little walkout area here. I think that'd be kind of fun. Just a little miniature balcony. These have blown over, but we're gonna make a deck out here. We planted an apple tree, and that one died, but that's a little leaf linden. It's too bad. I like those things. We'll have to replace that, and we need to trim this up very soon. We've got about a foot or so of gravel that's going in here. So far we only have about 6 inches. And this will serve 2 purposes. We're gonna build a concrete wall here. First of all, of course, it establishes a perimeter for this area. So this will be nice and flat, and then it'll go down and be just the yard. Canada geese going by. Or are those swans? I can't tell. The other thing that this does is it cuts off the thick, terrible roots that are really invasive from this tree. It's dying anyway. I'm not too concerned with killing it because it probably only has 2 years left anyway. Obviously, I don't want to kill a tree, but I'm going to take out the roots from this area where I don't want them to be, and only a little bit exists right now. And I'm going to replant those elsewhere in the yard, a little bit further away from the house. And this trench is going deep enough that it will go down below this high water line where the trees don't like to put their roots too far below that. And that'll keep the roots away from our foundation. So a dual purpose type of thing. More geese in the distance. Yeah, those are geese. Canada geese. But we do have swans around here. It's the first year that we've seen swans. You guys, our yard is gross. I know it's horrible. It's just, this is an ugly time of year anyway, but this is when all the projects that kind of I was trying to get done last minute before snow, they didn't quite get done. So these are some of those last little bits that are gonna go around the house. So this is the only part of the downstairs that we have to finish. And of course, stucco, as I mentioned before. Hey, buddy boy. Well, all right, there's a quick little tour, plans for the future, for the warm weather months coming up. poop. Oh yeah, the cats have decided to poop on the snow, and now we have to watch out for it. It's kind of miserable out here today. A little bit cold, but at least it's above freezing though. So it's 34 degrees, which compared to what we've had is quite warm. Oh my goodness. Girls, they're barefoot. You sillies. Okay, let's go in, guys. Let's get shoes on, please. All right. All right. We'll see you soon.
Let's go.
Bye. Should we go downtown?
Yeah.
Get some shoes and some shoes that fit Everett, and some new church pants for Alex, and just hang out and have fun.